from Disney Infinity unboxings.
I just would hit record. I would do the thing. I would open up the YouTube app and I would just upload the video I just recorded.
To meeting Lin Manuel-Miranda.
But I knew in my heart that I was like, I need to be ready to do something silly.
Today we're diving into the evolution of Disney Dan.
Welcome to the Enchanted Ears podcast,
where we discuss anything and everything Disney.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Joe, and on today's episode, we are talking with Disney Dan about his, I think it's over a decade at this point, career on YouTube. And it was pretty fascinating to hear about his beginnings, and just some like the crazy like stories and like adventures that he's had since then, and some of the things that like his channel has gotten him. I mean, he's known now as like, I feel like the costume guy. But that's not how he started. So it was a really great interview, kind of running through it.
Yeah, I had a really good time talking to him and like kind of picking his brain. He's like a very interesting guy and he comes from a really interesting background. So it was cool to like get that insight on him and like see how he sort of does like a literary criticism kind of like the like musicals and like theater and theater makeup and
for like the costumes.
Yeah,
his theater background.
So it's really
and
cool,
everything.
like to sort of see that and how it sort of falls into place.
Yeah. And I will say, a couple weeks ago we interviewed Quincy from All Ears. We have Disney Dan this week. We have a few other interviews we're working on coming up in the next couple weeks that should be really good. So if you've not subscribed or followed the podcast, now's the time to do it. So that way you're kind of first to know when all those interviews drop, because we're really excited about what we kind of have upcoming here in the next couple months here. Before we get into the interview with Disney Dan, though, a couple pieces of like housekeeping. One thing I want to mention, a few weeks ago, we talked about like Figment versus Donald Duck. And I was Team Figment, you were Team Donald Duck. And I was like, I'm going to put this out on Instagram, a poll, and see. And I did. And
you were very adamant that Figment was going to take Donald Duck out.
Yeah. And I was embarrassed because 83% said Figment, or not Figment, Donald Duck was better than Figment. Donald Duck was number one. So I think for a lot of it, Figment got a few votes at the end. It was like 100% to 0. So it was a pretty significant
and I didn't vote.
Decisive win. I did not vote either.
There are times that when you throw up a poll, I want to vote so bad, but I don't want to bias it. But my boy Donald Duck, number one duck, of course, I said it. You heard it here. All y'all agree pretty much. Figment he's great, but he can't hold a candle to Double D.
Apparently everybody agrees with that. The other thing I want to mention is, we appreciate everybody wherever they watch us on YouTube or if they listen on Spotify, wherever they get it. But we want to make a push to kind of move up the charts on Apple and the Travel and Places podcast. Want to try to break the top 100. So if you could help us share the podcast with a friend, leave us a review on Apple, even if that's maybe not your main source of getting it. Kind of promote the show. If you do, let us know on Instagram at Enchanted Ears Podcast. Leave us a message. We'll send you a free little Enchanted Ears sticker here.
Oh, that's so cute.
Let us know how you shared the show or left us a review or whatever. But we really appreciate it. Just want to try to make a push. Just help the podcast reach a wider audience. Like if you're ranked on Apple, they obviously kind of push you more. So just kind of want to help the show grow.
I have reviewed us. Does that mean I get a sticker?
Here you go. Here's your sticker.
Yes.
There you got a little sticker there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so appreciate, again, where everybody watches and consumes the podcast, but trying to make a push on Apple. So with all that being said, all that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the interview with Disney Dan. We are very excited for our next guest. You probably know him from his Evolution of Disney Costumes videos. He's a Distorian, host of the Fun podcast, and even a Halloween costume model. Disney Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for using the term Distorian.
Yes.
It is. It's a term I've coined, and now people use it all the time. At least I take ownership of it. Who knows? Maybe I didn't. But,
I don't know of anybody that used it before you. So.
Yeah.
Right. Neither do I. I don't have the evidence. Someone bring me evidence. But thank you for that very sweet introduction. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on. I love Enchanted Ears as just a concept because I love Mickey ears, and I wish that they made cooler ones for dudes, and they don't. I mean, if they do, if you want it to be Star Wars or something, but Minnie's got so many ears.
She does.
Give me some cooler Mickey ears. You know what I mean? It's just like the leather ones or the drippy ones. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Come on. So yeah, a big ear fan. I love any Disney brand like little mom and pop brand like us that like uses like ears as like their connection to the magic. So I love it, guys. Ears are so magical. They're so Disney. You know,
it works out. Podcasting,
Oh,
audio.
yeah.
That's where it is. It's kind of multiple
Oh
meetings.
yeah,
there.
should I get Mickey ears for my headphones?
I
No.
think so.
No, I don't need the guys. No, don't.
Yes, yes, you do. Listen,
I
we're
need
never
no
going to
men
be the
in my life.
ones.
I don't need yes men. Don't enable me. Try to get me to rein it in. Come on.
Perfect.
So I want to kind of start, at the beginning. You had a long history on YouTube. I was kind of actually going back through your YouTube channel. It goes back like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I found it interesting because I think people that probably know you today know you. Again, you're the Halloween costume model. You're the guy that has a ton of fun in your video. Your laugh is infectious. We got to hear some of that here already.
Yeah.
But when you first started, you were doing like Disney Infinity and like gameplay videos. And you weren't on camera, which I thought was interesting. So like what first drew you in to being a Disney content creator and making those videos?
Yeah, I had a video game website called Disney Infinity Codes, which was actually what was the main hustle.
Okay.
And the YouTube channel was just a byproduct of it because, sure, there's gameplay elements that I could show videos of, but I was more. There was a lot of video content out there for video games, and the thing that was kind of dying and going by the wayside was written video game guides. And I grew up in an era of that, like being able to just go to the chapter that is this level and look at how to do this one thing. And there was still a demand. There was, and I think that there still is a demand by the by, because you don't want to watch a whole YouTube. You don't want to watch a 30-minute scrubbing through a 30-minute playthrough video to find the one section that the guy did the one thing. And so you want a guide, and so I would write those. And the website, the YouTube channel was just like, great, whatevs. It was not like a main focus. But then when those games started to get canceled, I was looking at other ways to continue to grow. I had an audience, I had an audience. People were hanging out with me and chatting with me. And so I pivoted to a couple different, other Disney video games and things before eventually just landing on theme parks, because they're just kind of like an iconic staple of just Americana at this point, and got pretty inspired to just make theme park content. So yeah, video games is how it started, but it was a website. YouTube was just not even a thing. I wasn't even thinking about YouTube. I was writing every day, posting like every day on the web. Like it was just relentless writing.
Wow. So is that like your background? Is it in writing? Is that what you went for?
No, I have a theater degree. I'm a theater kid who was raised in a family business with construction. And so, I have no training in any of it. I have terrible grammar. If it wasn't for spell check, what would I do?
I can help you out there.
Well, I have, the internet now, science has created tools that just tell me that they put a little squiggly line.
You don't know people like
colors.
me anymore.
They mean different things,
Exactly. So are you a big gamer then? Like you play a lot of video games even now? Like
I do play a lot of video games. I play a lot of Fortnite. I play with my kids and my partner, and we still video game aggressively. Yeah, it's still a big. You never give up video games, I don't think.
Oh no. Yeah, when you said the need for like the online content, it made me think of like IGN's page for the shrines from Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom. And I was like, yep, you need it.
Yeah. You're not going to watch someone's hour and a half long video going to every shrine to figure out what shrine you missed. No, you need a list. You need a list that you can print out and highlight. Like you don't need a YouTube video. So
exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So whenever you started kind of like pivoting and going into theme parks, like did any of that like carry over? Did that kind of like influence your videos of like, hey, I want to make very kind of specific guides to certain things?
Yeah, I did start to get into the hobby of editing video guides and doing video guide content, and like I did try to kind of like blend the two worlds, and I tried to do but it just didn't It was a lot of production, and I wasn't a video editor. I'm not a video editor. I'm not, by the by. I'm completely self-taught. I was using archaic tools at the time, and like my videos were glorified slideshows effectively. And so like, it's weird, in hindsight, what I was editing and how I was editing, because it was crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's, it's so interesting because I actually really love, like, there's so many different types of like content creation, and I kind of like the rough style. Because it's like, it's very, there's something very,
absolutely.
It's very endearing.
You are not alone. You're not alone either. There is a portion of my audience that I definitely lost when I went into higher production content, and I had a team behind me, and I had a team editing me, and it was no longer a scrappy content that, because by the by, a lot of YouTube channels are really a parasocial relationship. A lot of your online creators, you want to feel like you have a friend in the room telling you a story. And when it gets away from that, it starts to feel like a produced, segment on the Discovery Channel. You can start to lose a certain audience, but you open doors for other audiences at the same time. So
yeah, but you definitely didn't lose the thread on the storytelling though. You still do a great job, like sitting there watching the videos, and I couldn't stop. I was like, oh my God, I need to watch another one. So yeah,
I appreciate it.
Huge fan.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
You kind of mentioned, once like Disney Infinity shut down, you kind of switched to other gameplays, moved into theme parks. You kind of then went into and started getting into, like you mentioned, Distory, Disney history here that you kind of coined. So was that like a conscious decision, or was that something you kind of just like stumbled upon and it worked, and so you just kind of rolled with it?
Yeah, there were some creators making content at the time. Yesterworld, Defunct Land, and Bright Sun Films are the bigger ones that I can directly, call out in memory, that were just making, and to Angela's point, at that time they were much more rough around the edges. Jake was making content where he was flubbing up lines and just laughing and just kept going, and like didn't like take the time to like cut them out, and like there was a certain sort of charm and personality to this sort of, and I was like, oh, that's very accessible. Like I'm not Shane Dawson or whatever, I don't know what
Rhett and Link
YouTube was what back then, but like I'm not these things, but I can be this thing because I am informed, and I have a theater degree, and so I had a lot of art history as part of that theater degree, and I've done a lot of working theater. I have put many hours in on stage and behind stage and in stage craft and in stage building. And the thing that everyone is conscious of, but no one, like what I'm more of a fan of than anything, is the fact that they are cast members, that they're not employees. They are on a stage. And it is backstage when you go past that door to the left of Pirates and you see the dumpsters. Like, that is backstage. And I very much intimately understand the concept of the fourth wall, that relationship between, storytelling in person. And boy, it's one giant piece of theater. And I just had expertise to talk about that, and just be observant in ways about, and costuming in particular is what I leaned into, but it's also very much about the immersive storytelling that I pay attention to, because I've logged so many hours doing it, doing immersive storytelling and through theater. And so, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how that unfolded.
Yeah, that's a really interesting take too on it, relating it to theater like that. You do, like you said, you hear their cast members, like everybody I think is kind of aware of that, but not having a theater background myself, like I've never thought of it like that.
It's like literary criticism. That's my background. So like but you're taking something and you're really focusing in on something like costuming, and you're able to interpret that because you know how to interpret that from a certain lens.
Yeah. And it's the expertise of, being, to continue building on that, to being literate in the form of media that you're critiquing, because literary critics are learned individuals. They've studied, they went to school. You can study the English language. You can really be critique based off of like an institutional knowledge, what is and isn't correct about literature, right? But then when you have to log a ton of hours in a practical space, like say theater, to then bring authority to a position that is, they're doing this well, and here's why. And it's that level of excitement that continues to be sort of like part of what I tell people when they want to do YouTube is like, if you are not excited about it, no one's going to care. And no one's going to listen to your opinion because you're not even excited about establishing authority on the thing that you say you know. And so, like you got to establish authority. You have to establish authority if you want anyone to listen to you,
Yeah, if you nerd out hardest and you seem like you know what you're talking about, you got that authority, right?
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, that's really
even
cool.
when you don't know what you're talking about, which is a lot of what I also do. You just have to have authority. You just have to say this is it. And if you want someone prove me wrong, please, because I would love to learn, and that's the best position to have. So
well, then you get engagement. It's perfect.
Yeah, little fake it till you make it never hurt, right?
Yeah, it never hurt. It never hurts, man. Never hurts. Literally, it doesn't hurt. And by the by, that is what learning is. That's what a lot of learning is. Like it's so funny how we fake it till you make it. That's so funny. Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yep. So kind of moving on in your history, we're doing a little bit of an evolution of Disney Dan here.
Right.
Kind of following along your videos. The other thing I found interesting is you weren't on camera for a lot of this. Even when you first started some of your costume videos, I think Mickey Mouse might have been your first evolution of costumes.
Yep.
You weren't on camera even then. And
no, it wasn't until about episode 30 or 40 that I put myself on camera.
Yeah. So what was the change? Why did you decide to kind of make that switch?
Because Defunctland, Yesterworld, and Bright Sun Films weren't on camera, and so the examples I had about historical storytelling in the park had nothing to do with what I looked like.
Okay.
Essentially, it was about, and it's something that it's so funny I end up struggling with later in my career on YouTube because of the switch, but it's about writing visually and doing a lot of research, and then and it's so funny because what ended up happening was I wouldn't write scripts. I would go and research everything I could, and then I would compile all the visuals I had, which is why the first Mickey Mouse evolution's like 7 minutes. I think there's like a goofy one that's like 3 minutes. Like there's some that are very short. And because what I would do is I would compile everything I could find. I would stretch it to what I believe would have been the most tolerable amount of time for it to be on screen. And then, and in iMovie of all places, I would then hit the little red button in the corner of the platform that said record. And then I would sit there with my mic and I would just do my best to improv through all the visuals I had set up with all the information that I had, stored in my brain, like a public speaking sort of thing.
Okay.
And so I would probably do that 40, 50 times until I got a 7-minute take uninterrupted that I was happy with. And so that's why you hear me, I stutter a lot and I trip over myself a lot in the early videos because I'm not reading anything. I'm just talking to what visuals I've laid down, doing my best to keep up with. And sometimes, and after those like 40 or 30 takes, I'd be like, oh, I have to stretch this picture 4 times longer, and so I was actively just, because iMovie didn't give you the ability to split clips. And so I couldn't like do a take and then split it and like be like, okay, I'm going to keep this good part of the audio and keep moving forward. There wasn't that ability. It was just a single hit it and go sort of record, one take, one go. And so a big chunk of my early videos were that. And then I started writing things, and you can, if you go through and watch all 110 episodes, you can tell, if you, with that context in mind, you can clearly tell the episodes that I am improving. And then when I start writing, and then when I abandon writing to just basic outlines, and then when I abandon basic outlines to PowerPoints, that I build now, and now that's kind of the process that I'm at right now, where I build PowerPoints, like corporate presentations of my videos. I have like a 75 long slide with all the bullet points and data about Aurora, the one I just did, and her 40 plus evolutions. And it is like with photos and titles and dates and all the topical information written down in sentence by sentence. And like, you can 100%, you know, with the context of like this, tell when and how I approach each one of the videos, and why I've ultimately started remastering a lot of the first 30 that I did, because I was just an agent of chaos back then. You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say, it sounds like
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
getting the visuals first and then trying to be like, okay, I got to like, talk quicker here or slower here to kind
Yeah.
of fit. And
Yeah,
kinda
Joe,
cut
well,
in.
I've got a lot of unresolved trauma that I'm still, you know, trying to figure out, and we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Who knows why I did it? Who was I trying to impress? I'm not exactly sure, but I did it. And it was
worked out,
wild.
so.
It's because I would do it in the middle of the night. I would also just like not. I would just stay up late because I was working a full-time job. Only for the past like I guess it's 4 years now. I have, maybe it's more realistically like 3. I have broken free of like working for the family, and YouTube is my full, like, content creation is my full-time gig. And like this year is the first time that I'm fully stretching that muscle outside of just being Disney Dan, and like working with other brands now, and like trying to enter that, you know, trying to be a corporate girly, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, who knows why I did it that way, man? Yeah, I didn't write scripts. They were just all because I was doing like Disney Infinity unboxing videos and Lego Dimension unboxing videos. And so I was recording 10-minute videos where I was just talking. I just would hit record. I would do the thing. I would open up the YouTube app and I would just upload the video I just recorded. You know, like 1, 2, 3, no text, no music, no whatever. It was just what I did. You know, and so the idea of talking for a while with the camera on was not intimidating. It was, but I also also didn't have any, like, what I was going to get a camera. Like I was going to get some, I own this. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what to do with it. So like I still, to this very day, I'm like, I'm so glad it turns on and I can hit the red button and it records. So I am truly, I am a thespian. I am not a gearhead. So, I'm a lunatic. So.
How long would you take researching the videos? Like I guess originally, and then kind of how long do you take now putting all that together?
If I want to, and it sounds lazy, but I mean, it's become such a, I know everywhere to look now. I know all the things to do. Mm-hmm. It's a skill level that I have. It's not I'll be real. The most intimidating thing to me for a hot minute was the Snow White evolution I did, earlier this year. Because huge characters like Snow White, Peter Pan, Maleficent, Aurora have huge lifespans because they're early pieces of material, and from about 1943 onward, and 1949 more seriously, costume characters were being made for brands. And so Aladdin doing the evolution of Genie, I could honestly write that in an afternoon, because he has only existed since 1996. And they've only updated him very publicly for very public reasons. Mm-hmm. There's a parade, and then there is a Broadway show, and then there's a there's a musical at Disneyland. And meanwhile, Aurora, characters like Snow White, it's like, all right, we're going to iterate on this dress because it's the 10th anniversary of Fantasyland, and then it's the 12th anniversary of this thing, and like there's just so many bizarre tiny milestones in a princess that's existed for 70 years that have like given like reasons to have variants. Like I know for a fact there's probably at least 10 other Auroras, and I covered 44 of them
Wow.
And I know I missed at least 10. I'm certain I missed at least 10. Just because also the documentation's hard for a certain.
Yeah.
Not everyone had dad cameras on their shoulders or 8mm cameras, like they're a character in Rent. So so it's it's odd. It's hard doing park history, and it's not like Disney has their doors open to be like, come on, see the old things we did.
Where do you find it at then? Where do you find a lot of this stuff?
There are some really great archives of. And what you can really do is lean on a lot of old specials, because institutionally built into the idea of Disney parks was the idea of monetizing them as television specials. I mean, ABC paid to build Disneyland, and they were making and producing glorified TV specials all the way up until TV died in like 2010, whenever Lost was over or something, I don't know, like around there. And like Netflix became a thing, and like after that, it was like all game was over I mean, we're still making Disney specials, but they're not Tommy Toon and Liza Minnelli and you know what I mean? Like we just do some wild stuff, man. And so you got to know like where to look, how Google also. It's crazy. You learn a lot about how Google indexes things and how to search and navigate the way that Google indexes. Because like Google does not look at Flickr. There's too much information on Flickr, the photo hosting site. Okay. It's just like, nah, I couldn't possibly begin to crawl that and log all the metadata. They have their own search engine. You go use that. And so I will go into Flickr for everything that I do and search from starting by oldest. And usually and so much of what you find, and like you can do this with Pinterest, you can do this with newspapers.com, but like so much what you find on places like Pinterest and they're just photos that are like floating in the ether, unaccredited, untagged, unmarked. And what's at least nice about YouTube is like, here's an account that I got this from. You know what I mean? Right. So I can credit that account, but it's hard with photos. But so yeah, it's really, I mean, and now there's great tools like for the longest time, I think it was called like Tiny Eye or something, like a reverse photo search. But now with like the way that Google indexes images that they do touch, you can reverse photo search the dress that a character is wearing, and it will do its best to like color match the pixel structure of the dress that you've uploaded. And so then I will be able to find, this random Tumblr post from 15 years ago from an account that's been deleted, but still there's a picture of Aurora, in Disney World in 1997 in this one appearance that I desperately need the photo of. So it's a lot of Wayback's Machine. It's wild, man. It's like it's a digital safari. It really is. And you have to have a lot of like awareness of the great wide web. Of Wreck-It Ralph 2. Yeah.
Do you enjoy that part of it? Like, do you enjoy finding all that information?
Is it like treasure hunting?
There is. Well, I don't know. No, I don't. I don't have like a OCD like kink that's like organizing data. Like it's very overwhelming and it causes a lot of anxiety. What I do enjoy though is the stories that I find when I'm researching, and that's the cool part. The researching parts become very mechanical and it is very anxious. Like I'll only be able to do a princess every 3 months now. Like I can't at least until I get through the first 6, because like there's just so much data to curate when you're doing it, and so I don't know.
Yeah. So
I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. You're doing great. Yeah, you're awesome. You're doing awesome. So, okay, so everyone loves the princesses, but you've covered like the evolution of all these different characters. My favorite character, my Disney character, I mean, arguably is Scar. And you did a beautiful evolution of Scar. By the way, I agree with you. They need a dark ride in Villain's Land. It needs, absolutely. I mean, I think that
one. We're getting Lion King Splash Mountain. It's happening.
Yeah.
And it'll make its way here.
Fingers crossed.
Angela's been trying to get an Escape from Elephant Graveyard ride made for about 10 years now.
Yeah,
so.
I just keep throwing it out there. I'm like, how cool would it be to go through Elephant Graveyard? And
Angela, I have manifested many things in the park just by speaking it out loud. I think they made a book about it called The Secret. I think that's what the book is. I think if you were like back in the day, you're like, what's the secret book about? That's what it's about. It's just about manifestation. And so manifest it, Angela. Get it.
I just
make
keep
that
doing
thing
it.
a reality.
The people on our podcast. Yep.
Elephant Boneyard. You splash through some ribs. Love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Sold.
it would be so good.
Absolutely sold.
So good. So anyway, what is your favorite character that you got a chance to cover?
Oh man, that's a really great question. I enjoyed covering. I really enjoy covering the characters that I am. That no one would think that there's a history of, such as like Furby. The evolution of the meet and greet Furbies is one of my absolute favorite things that I've researched and was absolutely blown away every time, every turn. I was like, get out of here. Like, get out of here. They did what? These massive behemoth birds. And things like the evolution of the Hershey bar at Hershey Park, and the sentient chocolate bar. It's stuff like that. You know, like on my list of characters to do is like Tony the Tiger. You know, I want to do the and also sports mascots never fail to mystify me.
Yeah.
Absolutely
That's a good
mystify
one,
me.
yeah.
Oh, please do one on Gritty.
They all have their own stories. Yeah.
Please do. I mean, he's relatively recent, right? I mean,
Gritty.
Gritty. He's my favorite mascot from any sports team anywhere.
Yeah. What's so crazy about sports mascots outside of all other costume charactered mascots is that, like, you know, pound for pound, their inception, creation, and existence is almost entirely driven through fan origin and not team origin, not like marketing origin. It's not like, oh, we're going to invent a new character, or, you know, she's going to be Princess Jasmine and everyone's going to love her, or Baymax is going to come out. Like, a lot of these characters are like, all right, the zeitgeist of the fandom is this, and this is like, and it just grew out of that, and before you knew it, we were the Oregon Ducks, you know, or whatever. And it's just that the stories that you find in between the lines when you're researching, I already said this, but those are the best things about the researching, and it's the weird ones, you know, because they're more of a challenge to like find information.
Yeah.
Like Pop-Tarts, the history of Pop-Tart mascots is amazing. I had the best time researching that. Twists and turns, and I'm researching. I'm like, this is the best story I've ever heard. People are gonna love this story. No one cares because no one has a lot of nostalgia to fuel the Pop-Tart mascot history. And that's kind of one of the bigger things you have to consider as a content creator who's wanting to make history content is, of course, make stuff for yourself by all means, but have to remember that, you know, people have to like kind of remember and want to see the thing that you're talking about. And if they didn't care about it then, they're not going to care about it now unless it's magnificent, you know?
And I feel like you can also just go into gas stations, go into Buc-ee's and Sheetz and things like, I mean, you have mascots there too.
Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
I was going to say Pop-Tart mascot might be swinging around because now they have the Pop-Tart bowl, and then he gets like in the toaster at the end of it.
He gets eaten.
Yeah,
he gets eaten. It's magnificent.
Yeah, that turns.
Yeah, and they ate a different one this year. This year they ate the cinnamon one, I think. Last year was the blueberry swirl. So yeah, they're wild. Yeah, we might be getting Pop-Tarts back. Those mascots have been around for a long time. Those big walk around Pop-Tart mascots have been around forever, and people just since American Idol was popular and Pop-Tarts was hosting the American Idol Pop-Tart Summer Hits tour, and those mascots were out on stage dancing with, like, you know, that Silver Fox dude, you know, or whatever. I can't remember any of the American Idol people's names that, you know, after Kelly Clarkson. And
Kelly Clarkson.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm lying.
Jordan,
no,
Jordan Sparks was one.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm thinking
Sparks,
Dancing with the Stars. I'm on a completely different level right now.
Dancing with the Stars. No, I get it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of that really bad costume of Scar from Dancing with the Stars, and I noticed it was
good.
Yeah.
So
my.
Good. I'm so glad
goodness.
that you love the Scar. The Scar's an interesting one because it's a character. Villains are interesting to do because they're interpreted so differently, so regularly, because they have to be. And so Scar's a wild one. Scar was a really weird one. Yeah.
And animal characters in general. I mean, except for like, I feel like Brother Bear. Like I think we saw. Oh my gosh, what's his name?
Kovu?
No, not Kovu.
Coda?
No,
That's a lie.
Coda. I think it might have been Coda. But he was at a RunDisney event. He looked great, but for the most part, they don't touch too many of those. They have Rafiki, they have Timon, and then that's about it. They
you
don't.
guys run
they don't
Disney?
go near there.
You guys run
Oh,
Disney
yes.
freaks?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Are you
Yeah, we
a
don't
member of the subscription
not.
service or whatever to get in
No.
early or
No.
do the thing or get better placement? No, you just
We,
roll the
uh,
dice.
We
rolled
rolled,
the
and
dice.
this time we lost. It's
Yeah,
the
we've
first
been
time.
pretty lucky.
We have,
Yeah.
but we did not get
Yeah.
into Princess. We have no scheduled Run Disney races, and for like the first time in a very long time.
Wow. Yeah, I wish if I was just a little bit less obese, I would want to commit to one.
It is
It's a lot of
incredible,
fun. It's a lot of
and
fun.
the longer the
I'm
race, the
afraid
better
of
it
those
is.
balloon ladies. I've heard about the balloon ladies, and I will not be. I'm not going to spend 3 hours anxiously walking at a brisk pace with balloon women stalking me. No thanks. Hard pass.
The other thing is too, they're getting so expensive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we probably started. I think 2019.
What isn't?
2019.
What isn't,
yeah,
Joe?
yeah. I mean,
This economy?
2019
Yeah.
was our first one, and I feel like they've like doubled.
And you gave everybody COVID, so thanks for that. I appreciate it. Appreciate you
No, it was
flying out of
2019.
state.
It was before. Oh,
okay. I see.
Yeah.
Time doesn't have meaning when you're a YouTuber, so
yeah.
just what is time? We
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
it up, Joe.
Exactly.
Time
Well,
isn't
the
real.
first one we did was what 2017 because we did
No,
the
20
rival run.
20 I think it was 2019.
I thought it was.
the rival
Was
run.
it
Yeah.
okay? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Rival.
It was
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars rival
It was the
run.
last time.
Star Wars.
So
Last-
every race was a light side character and a dark side character, and because they used to have at Disneyland used to have I think like the dark side. Disney World used to have the light side, and then because of construction they stopped all the Disneyland ones, and so they just kind of merged it together for 1 year at Disney World. So that was the first one we did.
Wow.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was.
And which medallions did you get?
We did the challenge.
We
so
did the
we
10K
got.
and the
yeah.
half marathon I think that year.
Yeah. So that.
Wow.
Yeah, there was
So it was
like.
like Luke
Wow.
and Darth Vader.
And are you guys like doing Goofy? Are you guys doing the Goofy
we
challenge?
did
Are you guys
the Dopey
lunatics?
this year. We did the
Yeah.
Dopey this year. We both did.
So Dopey is 2 of the 3, right?
No, Dopey's
It's all
all
of
of
them.
all 4.
Oh, Dopey's the stupid
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dopey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dopey
yeah,
was
yeah,
the one
yeah.
that convinced me to become an ultra runner because
Yeah,
I was
she's
like, well,
crazy. Yeah, she
if
runs
I.
like 60 miles now.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a race
What?
this weekend. Yeah, I have a 31-mile race this weekend.
Have you stopped driving places that are within a runnable distance?
Yeah, I run to work every day, 33 miles. I don't get there
Hey.
till 8 p.m.
It's doable. It's doable. You just proved it. You said you can do it.
I don't sleep anymore.
Joe says you have 60 miles, and so 33. You just get up to 66 miles. It's round trip. That's right
Exactly.
there. Round trip.
Yeah,
Back
exactly.
and think of all the gas you'd save.
Exactly. It'd be so good for the environment. All the people on the turnpike would love me.
Yeah.
Try not to hit me. So speaking of wild things, let's talk a little bit about KiteTails. I, again, really enjoyed your video covering like kind of like the opening of KiteTails, and we were huge fans of KiteTails just because of like kind of what you
Okay.
got to at the very
What's
end
not to
of
love? It's incredible.
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh.
watching NASCAR crashes.
yeah. So that's that was
Where
kind of
no
my
one gets hurt.
question. That
Dale
was
Earnhardt's not going to die when Baloo
Yep.
hits the pavement at 100 miles an hour. So it was great. It was honestly fantastic.
Yeah, were you sad to
and
see
what's
it
not to
go?
love about it? Yeah, and that's so funny. That video has been a lot of people have watched that video. A lot of people that like that was such an interesting video for me because it like just was timed at the right the right moment, I guess. And I hate on it, but I hate on it really lovingly, and I'm really I hope that people are aware that I enjoyed it, and so like all of my sort of like silly criticism is taken, I think, with like a grain of humility. I don't think that the kite company, because I've met them since, enjoyed the video. They definitely knew who I was, and they were a little cold to me. But it's not their fault. I mean, it is, because it's the product that they deliver, but it's also not their fault because it's what the product is. There's no, you can't, you're not going to like, I don't know. Yeah. You're not going to like take special precautions to like get the kites backstage to land safe. No, you're just going to let them land because that's what they do. Got to pack them up, get them ready for the next show.
And that was the charm of it. I mean, I
Yeah.
think people liked it because of that.
And the scary faces that they would make because of like, I mean, your sleep apnea King Louis comment, like I had me like rolling on the floor. But
Yeah.
like he just looked, why was he like that? But
Yeah. Well, yeah, there are artisans that take a lot of time to craft very specific kites that do very specific things with aerodynamics. And you can only achieve so much when you've contracted it to a person who's being paid to manufacture art, and they're problem solving. They're not making art. So they're delivered concepts that they're told to replicate, and then it's problem solving to make the lion face. It's problem solving to make a King Louis face that's going to catch air without flattening the face. And there's just no time there was no time or artistry in place to solve that problem. It was this needs to be done because we have to launch it in 5 months, or in 4 months, or in 2 months. Whoever knows whatever their turnaround timeline was for it.
Yeah.
But and then they managed it. The kite company were the jet ski riders. They were the kite flyers. Like the company that built the kites flew the kites. And so yeah, it is. It's funny. It's funny how they ended up being so horrific and like just like tragic looking. But how are you going to fight physics? You know what I mean? Like whoever did the concept art for it did not consider. There are ways to consider the way wind worked when you were doing the concept art and the way you were storytelling these things. You know what I mean? There are at least one of the characters could have been backwards. At least one of the characters could have been backwards doing something backwards.
That's
like
true.
because none of us were, so that at least like the face would have filled out and like the character would have filled out instead of it being squished by air pressure. And no one would have been like, well, why is Simba backwards? No one would care. What do you mean, why is Simba backwards? I'm here to see him crash.
Yes.
So it's that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
100%. So I want to talk about some of your other videos, some of the other videos you've done that aren't kind of on the costumes. You've ridden the People Mover 50 times.
57 times. 57 times in one day. Yeah, it was a lot.
You living with the land. You lived on the land pavilion for a day. So you've done some of these other kind of in-park videos and things like that. How do you come up with these ideas? Because you always have like kind of a funny take and spin on it. It's not just kind of like your traditional, hey, I'm going to go vlog in the parks today, type take on things.
I feel very insecure vlogging in the parks. I feel very useless when I go to the parks with a camera in my hand, pointed at my face to say, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go try. And this is not an insult or a slight to any vloggers out there. This is like my own, like I said, unresolved trauma. This is my own shame that like I can't, and I think it also is kind of connected into the idea that I'm, an actor and I'm not. And so like I got more comfortable being a character than I did being me. Right. And so I don't want to be me in a vlog, and I don't want you to see what I do with my life. Like that's not interesting to me. I don't think that I when I go to the parks, I like vibe like hard. Like I sit on the Disneyland Railroad for a while, and that's not fun to watch, know? So going to the parks, and also I don't live in the area. Like you understand, like you guys know, you're in Pennsylvania too. So going to the parks had to be an adventure. And so the idea of the adventure vlog sort of was born. Where like, why am I taking my audience with me? Sure, they enjoy my personality, but what's the value added? Am I going to just do the same thing again? And so with the People Mover video, the idea and the concept that kind of I leaned on was like, oh, you are doing this now every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, whatever. It's your routine. You have a routine, and you've done Disney parks now 5 times, 6 times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. You come here 5 times a year, whatever layer and amount it is. One of the things that we do as theme park goers is be very complacent with like, oh yes, this is the status quo and this is all I want. I would like to ride my 5 rides that I must ride. That is why I come here. That is why I paid the ticket price. I must eat my turkey leg. I must get a star. Like you kind of like have this like list of all these chores, all these like to do. Like it becomes like a chore list.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a habit. So like I argue, break the habit and do something insane. Ride one ride as many times as you can in one day. Do not stop. Because when you go back home to your family and friends or your office cooler or, the school cafeteria or whatever, people are going to, be like, hey, how was your vacation? And what are you going to be like? Oh, I did the same thing I always did, and it was great. Or, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I rode the People Mover 57. I sat on the same ride for 14 hours, and it changed my life. And like, this is like what I learned. And, like, have experiences. Like, you're so rarely afforded an immersive playground where everyone's on your side as long as you follow the rules. You know what I mean? And so follow the rules and like do something weird. Weird. Make a memory that like you won't never forget. Because I guarantee you don't actually remember huge chunks of your Disney vacations.
Oh yeah.
Because they are routine. They become routine. They become and it's okay to be complacent on vacation. That's the other danger of Disney vacations that I hate, is that they do not encourage stillness at all. Disney vacations are a vacation of checklists, not stillness. And so, you're just going nonstop. So anyway,
that's a
way longer answer to a question.
No,
that's
a great point.
It's a good point. It was not to the level of what you did 57 times on the People Mover, but when I went down last time, I rode Spaceship Earth all day, one day. And Angela wasn't there. I was down there by myself. And I came back and I told her that. And she was like, why would you do that? But to your point, it was a very memorable day. And it got like a reaction because it's not just like the normal thing that we do.
But the best part is you didn't even tell me you were doing it. Your mom ratted you out. She saw on Find My iPhone that he just was in the same spot in the park. And she said, what's he doing that he's just over by Spaceship Earth? And I'm like, I don't know.
I rode it all day.
Yeah. So that was the best part.
Oh my gosh. Mom, I need a little space. All right. I'm in my 30s. It's time, Mom, for you to leave me alone. Joe, it's time to turn that off, man. It's time to turn that off. Time to turn off your location with Mom. She clearly doesn't.
Hey, she listens. She listens, so
But yeah, it was funny. Yeah, she was tracking me. But yeah, I was trying to, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna see every ending. How they have like the choose your own future. I was like,
how many different endings could you mentally track?
Well, so I was like, I'm going to film this. I'm going to, go through and do it. And I quickly realized there's like thousands of combinations. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to see all these in a day. So I was like, I'll just keep riding it, see how many times I can get, how many different endings I can get. I think I got in like 15 rides that day maybe. Because it takes a long time to like get through the queue and get through the ride and everything. But yeah, I had grand plans of like, I'm going to see them all. I'm going to see every ending. There can only be like 7 of them, right? And it's like, no, they made hundreds of, if not thousands of different combinations.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that for 1 minute. I think that there might be, I think that generous, I'm being generous, and I cannot wait to be challenged on this. Someone please challenge me on this. But there is the illusion of choice there are thousands of choices to be made.
Yes.
But I think that by you get at most 25 endings. At most.
That's the thing.
There's different ways that they branch off.
It's the
because we went with a friend and we sat behind Joe and we picked like the same one, but then we answered one of the questions differently, right. So it was slightly different. So because of that, the number of choices,
you're making me think about it now in a way that how would they program it? Okay, so there are like 4 sections in the video. Mm-hmm. I believe your character does like 4 things. I think it's like 4 things. And each of those probably has like 4 different variants to be done. In that. So yeah, you're right. It's probably not, it's procedural. Yeah. And fascinating. Yeah, absolutely. It probably operates like a video game where they just stick it all together
that's what it seems to be. They have the clips because there definitely is some overlap.
There's overlap because we made one different choice, so our sound was synced up for a part of it, but then there was one little section.
Once you achieve a certain level of choices, you've plateaued in that and the variant of that choice, and like you're just going to get that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's fascinating. If Rob Plays was still making content, this would be something that he would that I could challenge him to do, but. Yeah. Rob Place is retired. R.I.P. Rob. So, Joe, I encourage you to go hard on this and really figure it out.
I do. Well, I did film it. I gotta like edit it together in a video.
But don't tell mom what you're doing that day.
Yeah,
Just turn the phone off.
Yeah,
don't let her distract you.
Silence it. So.
I can't wait to see her text message when she listens to this.
Yeah, she watches. So yeah, I'm sure she'll have some comments. So. Some of the other
see what you're doing to Joe. All this unresolved childhood trauma he has. Talking about all my trauma this entire episode, but see what you've done to Joe. Let him go. Let your baby boy go.
I'm an only child.
Let him spread his wings. Ooh, it's rough. All right, Mom, I get it.
That's it.
I get it. But he bounces still. Just like he did when he was a kid when you dropped him. So he'll be fine. He'll get right back.
Oh, she would have never dropped him.
I think my dad dropped me. I don't think my mom dropped me.
We were all dropped. Trust me.
I
think my dad dropped me. So.
Yeah. We were all dropped. As a proud parent of 2, I've dropped my children. It just happens. They're just children are menaces. You're just gonna drop them. It just happens. And that's how we evolved to compensate for that. So.
Perfect.
I do want to ask too on like souvenirs. You've done some videos on like rare pins. You did a whole video on like popcorn buckets and the Figment popcorn bucket and all that sort of stuff. What is like the weirdest or like strangest piece of like Disney memorabilia you own or that you've like researched that you would have liked to own?
It's this right here. I own this is one of 2 that I own. Electric Mayhem road cases from the Muppet Vision 3D pre-show queue of Disneyland's California Adventure Muppet Vision. So I have the love beads and the tie-dyed scarves, and these are the 2 hidden speakers that they had in the left-hand corner of the queue. And so they're all rigged out internally to hide speakers in them. They are real band road cases that they bought for that corner, and they resold the 12 out of the 14 that they had in the corner because they were all still high quality functional road cases. So they just sold them to a production team, but then they paid a contractor to haul away the 2 that were chopped up for speakers. And so those were trashed. And so I got them off the trasher. So yeah, I have 2 Muppet Electric Mayhem, like I have 2 official Muppet props. So those honestly my coolest, most prized, like insane things that I have. And then I have a very robust Kermit collection. The test dummy is on an insanely rare Kermit Big Fig that was sold at the parks in the art gallery, and it's next to the other Kermit here. This one here is on a plinth, on like a Roman plinth. That again is another Kermit Big Fig. I love the Big Figs. I have the Pinocchio. I just stumbled upon. I'm doing a Disney adult live show, a true crime and horror live show for Disney adults, and Pinocchio is a big part of that. And so I just lovingly, I had to buy them, but lovingly bequeathed at a very good price, like this Pinocchio Big Fig. I love Big Figs, and we don't make them anymore. We really don't make them. They're not a thing.
Wow, those are cool.
R.I.P. Big Figs. I love them. It's like big weird things, big weird things that they only made like 1,000 of, and then half of them broke. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of stuff. Snow globes. Disney park snow globes are wild, dude. The 80s and 90s were wild times. There was more technology, I think, is in some Disney snow globes than there is in the Mars rover. And I'm not joking. There are some really intense Disney snow globes.
Like what?
I can't even. Yeah, they're like I don't know. They're like Smithsonian level dioramas that are like of the haunted. It's crazy.
We need a video on this.
Yes, yeah. I need to know more. I know nothing.
You know what? A snow globe history. Yeah. Like a popcorn bucket, a salty history, a snowy history.
Do you own any of these? Any of the snow globes?
I have 2 of the Haunted Mansion snow globes.
That's awesome.
And I have 2 Muppet snow globes. I have I don't think it's a Muppet Vision, but it's like a Muppet Lab snow globe that's chaos, but it's like beautiful figure. It's beautiful hand sculpted like figuratures, cast in resin, incredibly fragile. They're like so much of it's broken on all of them, like all that exist, like hair thin like pieces of like arms or like like it's crazy how detailed they were. So yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll do a snow globe history.
Yes,
a snow globe Snow globes, a well-shaken history. I'll do it.
I love it. I love it. Good title. Good title. So I also see, you know, I see some of your costumes behind you, and you do you do videos like with costumes on all the time. What does your costume storage look like in your house? Like, I can't imagine. We have like 3 costumes.
If I have a banger of a costume, the costumes you see here, let's say like Rafiki, Animal, Alien, even Tamatoa, I mean, his shell is over here, and I have pieces stuffed in his shell hanging up. I have both of my big, like, I also have my crushed shell hanging because they're just good sound dampeners for the studio. But what I try to do is, and I have even more over here, what I try to do is fold the costume in a way that it turns the head into a plush, and then I stuff the costume into the head of the character so that it becomes like a pillow, more or less. And then I archive that pillow on my shelf if it's like a cool character, and I have them because I think it's pretty visually compelling. And then I have 3 totes with some vacuum sealed bags, and my God, I've packed away some, like, just hastily packed away some like post-cruise sweaty costumes that I have opened up, and it's like it was ripe. It was ripe. It was ripe. It was like a gym locker bag, but it was like a colorful Halloween costume. So God bless. What's also cool about HalloweenCostumes.com is that their mom, the owner of the company's mom, had a costume rental company for college girls that she would make costumes for her kids, and then after a couple of years, her kids like started renting the costumes to the college kids in town because their mom was making like, you know, really wild and cool stuff, and it became like a little cottage industry. And then before you know it, they were making costumes and then selling costumes. And so as a byproduct of it, a lot of their costumes are like theater costume quality in that they are very reusable and very durable, and like you can wash them, like they're washable, which is crazy to say about a Halloween costume.
Yes.
Like, tell me, more than half the Halloween costumes you grew up with, if you washed them, they would disappear. Like you wouldn't, they wouldn't come out of the washer. You know what I mean? So, thank God I can wash these things. So I have two shelves that are like these, and over here in the corner that's like a false wall in the studio where I have like 3 Tupperware stacked behind it, and then I have 2 Tupperware in the basement, and then forget about costumes. I used to curate new stuff for my videos, my set, every video. So I want to say like 15 totes of just crap that was relevant to the thing I was making, be it Furbies, be it McDonald's toys, be it popcorn buckets and sippers, and whatever Disney on Ice thing I got from that. Oh my God, guys, I am swimming in crap. I am leaving doom boxes upon doom boxes for my kids when I die. Oh my gosh, they're just gonna have to burn the house I was in. Just burn it.
Wait, you brought up McDonald's toys, and so now I have to ask, have you done something, I've never seen it, on the Beanie Babies from the 90s, like McDonald's, the craze?
I did a history on Disney's domestic park McDonald's partnerships for their Happy Meal toys, and it's been they did about 10 or so. I remember they did like 100 of them, and they were little circles with like little statuettes. So around that time, I tried to get as many of them as I could, and I only think I got like 40 or something out of I ate so many Happy Meals in like those 2 weeks. It was unhealthy. But Lifehack, depending on participating McDonald's only, but Lifehack, you can add a large soda to a Happy Meal for like 10 cents. So you adults out there who just need a little snack to keep your brain going, get that little hamburger, you know what I mean, pickles. Yeah. Skip the apple slices, extra fries, 10 cents. Get a large Coke. You know what I mean? You kidding me? That's a deal. When can you get a drink for 10 cents?
Exactly. Well, I mean, I ate,
and you get a toy.
I ate so
when was the last time you got a toy and something you ate? You know what I mean? It's like,
the last time I had a McDonald's Happy Meal. Yeah. But like I actually went to a McDonald's to try to get a toy that I wanted, and then our McDonald's wasn't carrying it. And then but I noticed,
you have a non-participating McDonald's?
It was a different toy.
Yeah, it was a different toy, because you know how sometimes they have to get through the old toy before they get to the new ones.
Now, Lifehack here, Angela, all right? Don't open the toy. And if you don't open the toy, it is effectively a coupon to trade for another toy. You can be
What?
like, oh, I went through McDonald's and they gave me this thing. Can I just trade it for, do you have like the current, like what? So you could just take it back in and be like, well, bam.
What?
And yeah. An unopened McDonald's toy, as long as you're not a dick, is like by the by a tradable token to be like, I got a bad
exchange
toy.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is incredible. This is
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could've known the future.
And meanwhile, I was just talking. I just wanted to talk about how bad the chicken McNuggets were in the 1990s, and now they're actually really
man.
good.
Yeah, bad for you, but delicious to eat. Oh my gosh! And those little talking nuggets.
They had
all I
mystery
wanted.
meat in them. They were.
Yeah, still is, I think, and that's fine. It's a
They're
mystery
good
how
now.
long I'll live. It's everything's a mystery. Let me eat that mystery meat.
It's like a hot dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You eat hot dogs, but you won't eat a chicken McNugget. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're
do
eating
not.
lips and toes and everything in both. It's
Yep,
fine.
no, I stopped eating hot dogs
fine.
when I worked with somebody who actually he worked for a hot dog company, and he told me that, and I was like, I'm
Yeah,
done,
they'll tell you.
never again.
It's just all the extra It's all the extra parts they don't make dog food out of. It's like, excuse me.
Yep, that's disgusting.
Delicious.
I don't know how to transition off of that, but I will try.
There is no transition. The limit does not exist.
But kind of going back to costumes. One in particular I want to ask you about is you dressed up as Hey Hey and met Lin Manuel-Miranda.
Yeah.
And I thought this was the funniest video. It was like just the funniest thing in the world when you met him. How did all of this just happen? Like how were you in the same spot Lin Manuel-Miranda was in?
How did they let you
Yeah.
in that costume?
Yeah, like how did this come to be?
I was invited because I have awesome friends. I was invited because he ended up hosting the event by a YouTube channel called Wait in the Wings to come out to register for a YouTube creator. I can't see it. I have a dumb thing that says Disney Dan that they airbrushed for me from the event, but they're YouTube creators, come on out. We're going to do like a YouTube like thing at Lincoln Center with Lin Manuel, for his release, for his like kind of re-release or re-hype of his Warriors album, because he has a concept album for a musical based off of the classic 80s film The Warriors, and it's a really cool high concept rap album that and I don't think a lot of people have the context and awareness, and I've only recently started to learn that like big musicals like Hamilton and Jesus Christ Superstar, shows like this began as mixtapes, as concept albums. Tommy, they were made by groups of guys who were working for studios and lived the studio life, which is not conducive for the Broadway production life. And so they had all these stories they wanted to tell, but they didn't have a Broadway stage to even consider doing it with. So it's like, oh, cool, just make a concept album. Tell the Jesus Christ Superstar story with the songs you want to be, piece in some extra context and like, the album and its art and the story you're telling with it. And then we'll make it a musical later. And so Lin really wanted to work with a bunch of like big names, like, oh my God, I can't remember anyone. Like Busta Rhymes, I think, is in this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
nice.
think Lauryn Hill is a
yeah.
big voice in this concept album. And what you'll find is that none of those recording artists want to move to New York for 12 months.
Right.
16 months and workshop a musical. No thanks.
Yeah.
But so Lin just moved himself to them and went out and like lived in their culture and got a bunch of when you read the album list, it's crazy who he has on the album. Absolutely crazy list of people. And then so now they have a concept album that now is going to be adapted into a stage show. And so we were there at a listening party for it. I got invited and I dressed nicely, but I knew in my heart that I was like, I need to be ready to do something silly, because I've developed a bit of a brand of wearing costumes now with my content. a brand I'm happy to do. I love it. I love being the center of attention and doing silly stuff and having an excuse for it. And so I was like, okay, I will bring the Hey Hey costume. I'll just put it in the backseat of the car. And then as I was going to, we parked in the parking garage and we were leaving, I was like, I'll just bring the backpack. And then like we got to the Lincoln Center and I was looking around and he was very busy and there was a very busy room, very loud packed room. And I was like, well, I am not standing out wearing this floral blazer and you know, my short shorts. I got to do something. And so I asked somebody and then they asked somebody. And before you knew it, the first person I asked ended up being Lin Manuel's PR agent's assistant. I was just talking to her because like I was just sitting in a corner of a loud room being an introvert, an introvert pretending to be an extrovert. And she's like, how are you? How's it going? And I was like, crazy thing, but I have a Hey Hey costume from Moana in my backpack. And I have gone semi-viral doing these things where I wear costumes and kind of interact with people. And I showed them the clips and then he brought the publicist over and the publicist loved it. If you watch the video again, his publicist is standing behind him, waiting for the moment for Lin to turn around. Okay. It's hilarious, dude. If you look right behind, he's right there when you watch it again. The publicist is living, and the assistant is the woman like to the left of him, who's like, Lin, turn around and look who's behind you. And so I stepped into the server station, I stepped backstage, if you will, and just put the costume on. Because the costume is just a onesie with two big socks, is all it is. And that's what's so great about most of these costumes. They're just onesies.
Right.
They're just pajama onesies, you know? And so, you know, Joe, you just got to be bold. You know, you will miss every shot you don't take. You know what I mean? And so...
It's like somebody said that one time.
Yeah. He who hesitates is lost. And so I didn't wait. I wasn't like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I just like followed...
Wait for it.
As we said earlier... I manifested. I didn't read The Secret, but I read the Wikipedia of The Secret, and I got the idea. And it was just about manifesting. And so I've been doing it ever since. And as long as you manifest, it's crazy what doors will open. And here's the wild part, because my kid's like, why would you do this? And people are like, dude, you're insane. Why would you do this? And I am going to meet Lin Manuel-Miranda again. Like that's not if it's more of a when because of the insanity of my life. It's just great. I don't know. I just have to live a very lucky life. And when I meet him again, if I was just wearing the floral blazer and I was like, oh, I said hi to you once, he's not going to remember me. No one's going to remember me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I do reverse, CIA undercover tactics. I dress like a chicken and I'll tell you what, it gets attention, and it tickled him, and he was very humble. I mean, you see this reaction.
Mm-hmm. You saw the reaction. I was going to say, it's hilarious, too, because you say, hey, hey, and it's like a greeting and the character all in one. And yeah, in the clip, he does seem to enjoy it. That's what I was going to ask. Like, afterwards, like...
He was very humble. Okay. And so, this was all a kickoff to a silent disco. To go out to the Lincoln Center in a more public space, he would be up on stage with a big audience, and there's a huge group of people there, all listening to the Warriors album. He has a microphone, so he can talk to us. But anyone not wearing headphones, you know how silent disco works. And so he slips out from our event and goes to immediately open up the silent disco. And I don't know. It's hot. It's a hot summer night in New York City. It is at least 85 degrees out, if not 90 degrees. It's humid. The sun's down, but that doesn't matter. It's hot.
Right.
And I make the decision to just be like, you know what? I'm just going to wear it to the silent disco. And so I wear the chicken costume to the silent disco. There's a big song about a chicken in the musical that I completely forgot about. So I became the center of attention for a part of that. But then at a certain point, and when that song was happening, I pushed through. I was the chicken. People were parting seas like I was the chicken Moses, and like they were making way for me and my full chicken self. And then I got to the front. I got to effectively a mosh pit wall of people that there was no more respect for Moses chicken, and the seas stopped parting. And the song was kind of petering out, but I got to a good location. I got to a good visual location that was like, you can see there's a chicken in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was maybe like 20 people deep. A certain part of the show, Lin Manuel disappears. He's gone. And at that point, my partner gets up to me and she's like, yo, where's Lin? Did he bail already? And I was like, I don't know. I think he did. Like maybe he was only here for the first actors, because all the actors who recorded are also up there. Like a lot of talent, other than Miss Lauryn Hill. You know what I mean? By the by, like, you know, we had one of the original Hamilton. We had a lot of Hamilton. Like there was lots of people there. It was a big spectacle. Wow. And wouldn't you know it, out of nowhere, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Lin standing there, starting his Instagram live as he's about to move through the entire crowd with a whole security detail. And he's just looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he just starts singing and moves, and he just doesn't stop, because that's the secret. Just if you don't stop moving, no one can bother you. I mean, no one's getting an autograph or a picture if you don't stop moving. And so he just starts moving, and oh my gosh, it was wild. It was an absolutely wild moment. It was a wild moment, and I'm so glad I had the time to wash that chicken suit before I went out that day, because if I didn't have the forethought, if my neurodivergence would have won that day, I would have been a very stinky chicken. And luckily I smelled like fabric softener, and I was grateful. You know, I was grateful. I was grateful. Yeah, but that's how that all rolled out. It was wild, dude. I don't know what my life is, Joe. It's wild, dude. I don't even, I don't know what to say.
Well, I'm going to ask, close it out here. What's next? What do you have in the works? You mentioned that you're working on a murder mystery show.
Yeah, I have a Disney adult. I just debuted it in August in LA. My buddy Ed from Last Podcast on the Left is an incredible podcaster, and he has a huge love of true crime and horror. And I'm a family-friendly theme park content creator, and so I was like, why not? Why not go hard on the true crime? So we have created, because I feel very, it's hard, like I feel like very like late stage Bob Saget in some ways, because I have a very family-friendly facing content pool with my YouTube channel, but you know, I'm a silly comedian and an actor, and you know, I like making poop jokes, and you know, and that doesn't resonate very well on the YouTube channel I've built. But to say that I know that there are Disney adults out there, like you've run Disney Freaks, who you go to these events, and then like you run hard, and then you go grab some drinks and food, and you want to laugh and you want to enjoy Disney stories you've never heard. And my gosh, I was like, well, I got the taste of doing it live. So working on live show stuff now is a big thing. People like to go out and do stuff, you know. So I plan now, hopefully, to have a live comedy show at every Run Disney event in Orlando, because, you know, you're all there, and, you know, you've all been to the parks enough, like, you know, so yeah, live shows. I'm working at HalloweenCostumes.com. I got a gig with them for the better part of a year, doing a bunch of YouTube content and like helping them model and make stuff and do lives, and like I'm having a blast, although I'm spending a lot of time in Minnesota, which is wild. And it's just a very different place than here in Pennsylvania. You know? We have mountains, and they don't even know what a mountain is. It's all very flat. The sun doesn't go down. It's real weird out there, man. It's real weird. But yeah, spending a lot of time there. And I'm also about to do a crazy, I don't know when this will come out, but I'm about to, in early December, film one of the craziest adventure vlogs I've ever done. Speaking of like being on one ride for 14 hours, I'm about to do something in 100 hours. That I don't think I've seen anyone ever do on the internet before. And that's not like me being like hyperbolic. I've never seen anyone do what I'm about to do. And I'm very hyped. Not that it's original. I've seen people go do a bunch of stuff in 100 hours, but no one's done this thing in 100 hours. And so I'm very excited. I'm going to give you a tease. I'm going to have a Disney vacation without ever going to a Disney park. And I'm going to spend like 4 days on vacation. So it's fun. And not going on a Disney cruise. I'm going to have a full out Disney vacation and do nothing with Disney's parks and experiences that are part of the umbrella of the Disney Corporation. So very hyped to see how that works.
That's a good teaser.
Yeah. And Mickey will be my best friend throughout the whole thing. If I have it worked out, Mickey will effectively be my biggest cheerleader through the entire video, and I'm so excited for that idea. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But I don't want to reveal too much. So
that's awesome. So that'll be exciting. On the YouTube channel.
Yeah, Disney Dan. Yeah. Yep.
And then if people are interested in the live shows, what's the best place to kind of keep up on that? the YouTube
Boy,
channel?
that's a real great question. Who knows? That's who. What? Yeah. You just I guess my Instagram, is the best place to see that. And then I also have thedisneydan.com. I have a link tree. You know what I mean? You got to have a link tree.
Yeah.
So, head there. And then, my podcast, I talk about the dates, and Ed and I do a pretty decent job of promoting it. And I'm also on Disney Plus now. I haven't really hyped this up yet, but I am officially on Disney Plus.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I was on the History Channel for a program called How Disney Built America, which has now been brought over to Disney Plus. And so you can watch my big dumb face on your Disney Plus subscription, which you likely canceled in the wake of Jimmy Kimmel. But if you ever decide to resubscribe, you can find me there, or you can watch the whole thing on like YouTube. And you have to buy the season, but it's a real wild. If you like History Channel aliens type stuff, wait until you see what they did with the story of Disney. So, and with me telling most of it, I couldn't believe how much I'm in that freaking show.
Wow.
And the most surreal thing happened to me, Joe. It was just on this last trip. It happened to me. It's second time it's happened to me now, where I will be in a hotel and I will be on TV. Not because there's YouTube on the TV, but now twice. And the first time it happened to me, I was at Coronado Springs. I was at a Disney hotel, and my Disney show came on TV. I cried in the hotel room. It was the most surreal experience I've ever had. But then now, it's just so. Joe, I'll tell you what, it's really changes your perspective on life when you can watch yourself on TV, crappy hotel TV. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Joe?
Yeah, it just randomly comes up too. It's not even like you said, it's not YouTube. Like, I'm going to pull up one of my videos. It's
no. Back in the day where we had no control of what happened on our TV,
and you're just on
other
there.
than tuning into a different channel. My gosh, do you remember how few options we used to have?
Yeah.
Yep, and you had to
Times
watch
were
it at a
simpler.
specific time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, you missed it.
We're getting back to that a little bit, which I like. I like timed releases. We're getting back to that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, like one a week. You kind of not binging everything. So
Yeah. And also release at a decent time, not like at 3 a.m.
Right.
We're
9,
talking
like 9 or something.
Like a 9 p.m. release. You kidding me? It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Right.
I love it.
Right. Perfect. Well, Dan, really appreciate it. This has been great. Looking forward to the next challenge. It was a great tease. Definitely looking forward to that.
Oh man, get ready.
So
Get absolutely ready.
But really,
thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me.
Thanks for being here.
Be part of being an enchanted ear. Our enchanted stories into enchanted ears.
Exactly.
All those ear holes out there, those enchanted ear holes, have been blessed by our beautiful podcast.
Perfect.
That sounds a little wrong there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I want to thank Dan again for being a guest on the show. Really enjoyed the interview. Let him know you enjoyed the interview. Comment on his videos. Let him know, hey, saw you on Enchanted Ears. Great interview. But really appreciate everybody watching. Really appreciate him being on again. But that wraps up the show for this week. I want to thank everybody again for listening. If you've not done so, please leave us a rating or a review. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. It really helps, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks for lending us your ears.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you here next Monday.
Bye-bye.